Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tania Fauzi, and I from Postgraduate Management Islamic of Education Study Programs, State Institute of Islamic Studies, Kediri. Welcome to my new presentation. Now I'm going to talk about teaching excellence in the context of business and management education. Perspectives from Australian, British, and Canadian universities. The goal of this presentation is to make you understand about teaching excellence in the profession, business, and management education. First, I'm gonna share about this topic. Point of article, introduction, literature view, methodology, research finding, teaching excellence in the Australian context, teaching excellence in the British context, teaching excellence in the Canadian context, analysis and discussion. Conclusion. Let's start with introduction. The notion of teaching excellence and how to measure it among higher education institutions has been a significant debate globally that has gathered momentum over the past 2 decades or so. Yet content that what is meant by teaching excellence can be difficult to interpret, notwithstanding the requirement for higher education to focus on teaching quality within the remit of their activities has increased significantly in recent years, have some influence on the provision and quality of teaching. They invariably disagree on the relative importance of certain factors that they perceive to constitute teaching excellence. Teaching excellence undefined, the rationale for the research, aims, objectives, and scope of the research. Literature view. Teaching excellence is highly debated concept with no agreed upon definition within academia. Nevertheless, it has been argued that teaching excellence cannot be separated from the context in which the concept is being examined. Indeed, in the context of tertiary level education, some have argued that the notion of and frameworks for teaching excellence are specific for certain fields of study such as in the profession of business and management education. It has also been suggested that factors which are external and internal to higher education influence on shaping the achievement and delivery of teaching excellence. For example, external factors include increased diversification among student populations, competition among higher education providers, governmental policies to increase teaching quality, and the perceived importance of discipline-specific research as it relates to external ranking systems. Likewise, internal factors include the increased recognition of importance of activities, the perceived importance of gaining accreditation with stakeholder agencies, and the attributes and characteristics of academic teaching staff that are considered to be conducive to delivering teaching excellence. The remainder of the paper will explore the concept of teaching excellence in the context of providing business and management education and interprets and present 7 perspectives offered by senior level academics based on the following methodological approach. Let's move on. Methodology. Research project background. This paper is based on the qualitative findings of an exploratory research project on teaching excellence in the context of business and management education that was completed in January 2019. philosophical considerations. The concept of teaching excellence, due to its multidimensional characteristics, methodological approach. A qualitative interview-based data collection approach was adopted to explore participants' conception of what constitutes teaching excellence. Sampling. The purposive sampling technique was utilized to recruit participants for the study because the credibility of findings relies primarily on the characteristic of the sample. Evaluation considerations for qualitative studies. It has been argued that the conventional approach used to evaluate the quality of research, data collection, qualitative studies using in-depth or semi-structured interviews are pervasive in research or tertiary level education. Let's move on. Research findings. Teaching excellence in the Australian context. Notions of what constitutes teaching excellence in the context of business and management education varied between the Australian participants. Participants A1 believed that teaching excellence occurs where academic teaching staff possess a number of skill sets such as being super organized and having great communication skill to inspire, motivate and support students to be independent learners, to develop students interpersonal and transferable skill sets that they will be able to utilize in their future careers and in their personal lives. Participant A2 also provided an interpretation of teaching excellence that focused on the skill sets of academic teaching staff and their ability to facilitate learning. Participants A3 suggests that teaching excellence is based on being able to create a safe, challenging, and positive learning environment where students are motivated to learn. Next, teaching excellence in the British context. Participant P1 described teaching excellence as being multidimensional, but notes it involves encouraging students to be more active partners in their learning, engaging students in practical business projects, achieving student satisfaction by setting subject-relevant learning objectives and outcomes, and helping students achieve them by providing them with a good learning experience. Participant P2 presents a perspective of teaching excellence as being multi-phased but centered on the business and management curriculum, meeting the needs of key stakeholders such as students, employers, external examiners, and the benchmark standards of the Quality Assurance Agency (QAA) that oversees the quality of higher education provision across the UK. Participant P3 notes that in addition to setting acceptable baseline service level agreements and exceeding them, teaching excellence involves academic teaching staff developing and motivating students to be independent learners, but intimates that teaching excellence cannot really occur unless students actively participate in their learning as follows. Teaching excellence in the Canadian context. Participant C1 suggests that although academic teaching staff must have mastery in the subjects matter they teach, learning is not a unilateral event whereby academic teaching staff provide all the knowledge and students are passive recipients of that knowledge. Participant C2 suggests that teaching excellence entails academic teaching excellence in the Canadian context. Participant C1 suggests that although academic teaching staff must have mastery in the subject matter they teach, learning is not a unilateral event whereby academic teaching staff provide all the knowledge and students are passive recipients of that knowledge. Teaching excellence in the Canadian context. Participant C2 suggests that teaching excellence entails academic teaching staff engineering enthusiasm among students about the subject matter they are learning. In other words, the ability of academic teaching staff to engage students in learning is a key component of teaching excellence. Participant C2 proposed that teaching excellence could be examined in terms of learning excellence. Participant C4 noted that teaching excellence occurs while a business and management program's curriculum reflects contemporary issues in the business world and provides students with applied learning experience. And then let's move on, analysis and discussion. The characteristic and skill sets of teaching staff, perspective of teaching excellence, the characteristics and skill sets of academic teaching staff as factors that help to define teaching excellence. The research-based perspective of teaching excellence, the key stakeholder perspective of teaching excellence. The learning environment perspective of teaching excellence, the active partnership perspective of teaching excellence, the learning journey perspective of teaching excellence, the business and management curricula perspective of teaching excellence, inference from the study, implications of the study, contributions of the study. Let's move on conclusion. Exploring the concept of teaching excellence in the context of business and management education from the perspective of senior level academics in Australian, British and Canadian universities revealed the following. Teaching excellence is likely to occur where business and management academics with a remit for teaching posts and broad range of abilities, competence, skill sets, and characteristics that engender learning excellence among different cohorts of students. Reflect the diverse makeup of student population that they teach, conduct research on both their subject specialism and to inform what they teach and how they teach are cognizant of the requirements and viewpoints of key stakeholders when delivering and revising business and management curricula and are enabled and supported by senior management to trial innovative approach to teaching and learn within a positive and safe learning environment. The last conclusion, the implication of this study might prove to be useful for promoting teaching excellence in the provision business and management education. Indicates there is no universal formula for achieving teaching excellence among all higher education in all contexts. That's all what I want to share. Good job. Thank you for your nice attention. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.